Hi guys, welcome. This is another session that we are going to talk about another different topic. But first of all, let me thank all my subscribers. Guys, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for walking this journey with me. I also want to welcome you who hasn't subscribed to my channel and you're new here. First of all, to just say thank you for subscribing. And also, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. My name is Charity Nganga. This is Charity's Bubble USA, your number one channel where we talk about facts. We talk about life in the US. We talk about challenges. Today, I'm going to talk about challenges. I know I haven't brought up this topic, but I want to talk about it because I feel it's important. And something happened to me yesterday, and I was so sad. And I felt like I want to come and talk about it here in the open because I felt like in this time or in this age, in this century, we should not be experiencing such stuff because of your skin color. Because I feel like the way I was treated yesterday, it was because of my skin color. And, I could just tell. But I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. And and even what's happening around the world when we see like there is war in Ukraine, just to keep those people in prayers and just pray for the mothers, pray for the kids. I was watching news yesterday, and I saw this lady. She has three babies, and she was sheltering she was saying it's a bomb house, and actually it's not a bomb house because she was saying that that house has a window, and I put myself in her shoes because I have little kids, and then I wondered if something like that broke here where I'm living, where would I go? Or where would like, how would I travel with kids? Because like watching the news, you can see that those people are struggling. There is no transportation. And especially when you have little kids and you have to walk, and these kids are not used to walking, and they're not used to like to be out there, and it's just sad. So the only thing that we can do is just to keep them in prayers, pray for them, and pray for peace, and pray that that person who is bringing out that work can be touched, can have a change of heart and see that the cry of the people, the cry of the little children. Because I believe that in this world, the legacy that we're going to leave is not a bad legacy. It's not a legacy that our children will look at and they will frown at it. We want to leave a good legacy. So just to keep those people in prayers. But now let me talk about, and then I watched another incident whereby they were saying that people are going to are fleeing to another country. But and I was sad because I saw a guy from Nigeria being interviewed, and he was saying that he was not allowed to pass through because of his skin color. Like, he was very, very open. He was like, blacks are not allowed to pass in. And I experienced the same thing yesterday when I had to go and take my husband to the airport. And I experienced the same thing when I went, and I really felt so sad. I was like, really, this is wrong. It's just wrong. So this is what happened, and I'm talking about this like with all honesty, and just just to express my feelings on how it went down yesterday. So what happened? Normally, you find that when you're traveling nowadays, you have to have a COVID test. Like, you really must have it when you're traveling. It's important. You cannot board a plane without it. So me and my husband went. So he had been tested in the morning, and we were waiting for his results. But by the time we were going to the airport, we didn't have those results. So we were like, are they gonna come in? And we only have like 2 hours to get to the plane. So we were like, because we are waiting and we are not sure what's going on, let's just go, because there's another place there in the airport. Just here at ICT. I was at ICT airport because I'm not worried about talking about it because those people are just horrible. So we are there. So we went. There's a lab there, and we thought that it would be open. But by the time we got there, we found out that it had been closed earlier, because we just wanted something like a backup, because we didn't know, like, by the time for him to board the plane, it's gonna be too late before we get the other results. So we were worried. We just needed a backup. So after that, so when we found that it was closed, we went back, and then my husband just went there, and then he was like, he just, the way you just go and inquire at the reception. So he went and inquired at the reception what is the requirement, because you find that nowadays you never know, like, what is the requirement. Like, before, the last time I remember when he was traveling, they needed a COVID test that was 24 hours. So he went and asked what was the requirement, and we were kind of worried because we didn't know if the results that he had done the test in the morning if they would come in before he boarded the plane, because we really needed those results. So that guy was like, no, you really need the COVID test. So and then I went and sat down. So they were supposed to send an email to us. He had gone to Wichita State. There's a lab there. So so we were supposed to open up a portal, and then they would send us the results online. So when I went to sit down, I went and opened that whatever that website, and then my husband was like, let me just call them and see if they have the results ready, because we really needed them. And the backup that we were thinking that we were gonna go to get, that place was closed. So we were like, we really need to call them to see if those results are ready, because we really need them. So we found this like very nice ladies. Like she answered the phone, and she gave us the code, because we have to have a code because it's a medical record, because of HIPAA, privacy protection of medical records. And then she gave us the results, very nice results, whereby they had tested him for the PI, the whatever the COVID test. They had even gone to an extent to test him for influenza, and they had tested him for respiratory upper respiratory illness. So he had 3 tests, and they were negative. So we were like, oh yeah, this is good, because at least our results had been set and it's on time. So we went back to the counter at the Delta counter, and we found this guy, the same guy that my husband had gone to inquire like what he needs. So we told him our result has come in, and we gave it to him because it was on the phone, it was on the email. So we gave him the result. When we gave him the result, he didn't even, I having lived in the US for a long time, I like to observe people. Like I really observe people, what they are doing, their reaction and everything, because there's sometimes that before I never like used to observe people. I'll just go, like not thinking about the body language and all that. But nowadays, I really do, and I think it's because I've lived here for a long time, and sometimes I've had bad experiences with people I've been treated badly. So I really like to observe someone's reaction. So when I gave him, because I was holding the phone, I was holding my husband's phone, so I gave him the test. So he took the phone. We told him this is our result, so that he could check us in. So he just took the phone, and then he looked. He didn't even read it, because he's supposed to read how it is. So he just took the phone and took it to his to the other guy on the counter, on the next counter. And then he came back. That guy did not even last even a minute to read those results. So he came back. He says, no, these are not the results. These are the wrong ones. So I was like, we just got the results from the lab. These are the right results. That guy was like, no, these are not the ones. You need you need a negative COVID test. I told him I am a nurse, and I know how to read results, lab results, because we receive them all the time in whatever. And there is no way that this result shows it's a PCR negative test. And of course, he has been tested for influenza, and he has been tested for respiratory. So he was like, no, this is the wrong one. You cannot, like, I was shocked, like just shocked. So I asked him, did you read the narrative? Because a lab, when you get a lab result, of course they will write the results up there, but they have a narrative, because that lab result was written very well, and then it had a narrative like to explain every test that had been done. That guy was like, no. And then he called his friends. I think they work there on the counter, that they're the ICT airport. So he called them. Then this other lady came in. And then she looked at it. She was like, this is the wrong one. I was like, that result, we just got it from the lab. And it shows that the PCR test is negative. And he has been tested for influenza and for the upper respiratory services, respiratory illness. What is wrong with the test? Like I couldn't get it. Why they were not, they were saying that the whatever was wrong. And then there's this another person who said that one is not the right one. And then I was like, do you think that is fraudulent? We're bringing it to you and it's fraudulent. She was like, no, I didn't say that is fraudulent. And then I told her, why are you saying that it is wrong? You can even see the label for the lab in Wichita State. It just came in. Even you can read the time. He was like, no, this is not the one. So I was like, okay, fine. So we called the lab. We had to call that lady, and we were like, they're saying that result is the wrong one. It's a fraudulent one. Like that lady was like, what? She was like, we have done so many tests, are there at the airport, and nobody has ever had a problem. So she was like, so she told me, I want to talk to them and just try to verify those results, because those results are right. So I go back to the counter, because I had just walked away a little bit. When I'm upset, I like, like when I don't like becoming upset, because when I become upset, like when you look at my face, you can just see it, because my color just does. You see, I'm dark. I become more darker when I am upset. So I went back to the lady and I told her, the lady for the lab wants to talk to you and ask you what is wrong with the results. And then there was a guy, and there were three young girls. I would call them young, because they look they're like 25. But the guy who was there, he was older. I could tell he's like in his 50s or something. But he was, oh my, I have never seen like such reception. Like you just feel like you're being treated like this because of your skin color. Because I was like, what is wrong with these results? They have, what is wrong? They were like, no, these are the wrong ones. These are not the right ones. So they refused to talk to that lady for the lab. Like they totally refused. They didn't. So that lady was on the phone with me for like 1 hour, and completely they refused. And we are just standing there, and we are looking at the time, because the plane was supposed to leave at 6:45 p.m. So that lady had to call the director. So she was like, the only thing I can do now is to call my manager, and then we can tell her, and then we can see what's going to happen. So when they called the manager was shocked. She was like, what is wrong with those results? That is how they have always done their results. And medical results, you cannot alter them. Medical, like, they're very, very sensitive. If a result has come out, there is no way you can change it. You're not even supposed to change even one word, because it's a medical result. You cannot alter that one. So the director was like, now what's the problem? So I told them, they are saying that the PCR is wrong, and that paper is just wrong. It's not the right one. It's like they are saying that paper is fraudulent. And why I would say that they were saying it's fraudulent, because they didn't have to mention it, but the way they were like, no. Because when I went the second time, that little girl said, you can stand there all you want, but we are not going to take that result. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So she called the director, and then I asked them, can I have the number to call anybody, the supervisor or whatever, to ask them, because before you give up, you have to talk to someone who is higher. Because these ones, they don't even wanna even they don't even wanna even associate with us. They're thinking like, we are black. We have brought a fraudulent document in the airport. You know what I mean? So they refused. They even refused to call the supervisor. Okay, we were like, okay, fine, that's fine. So I told them, give me the number for Delta Airline, so that I can call someone in Delta and ask. So so they said, we don't know the number. I was like, you work here. How you don't you know the number for Delta? And then that girl was like, I don't know what she gave me. I was like, I just want the number. Give me the number now. So because now my my temperature was rising. I was so upset, and I was feeling so bad, because I was like, how do they think this person is traveling international? How can she go with a fraudulent document? So that girl, I was like, where is the number? I just need to know the number. So I grabbed the paper from her. I did take that paper nicely, I was at that point, like, I am like, this paper is so authentic, it's so real. They don't even want even to talk to the director. Even if they don't want to talk to the director, they do not want me to talk even to the supervisor. Because if the supervisor would have explained to me better and told me, this is the problem with the paper. So the lab lady is still there, and she can still hear what's going on. And then I walked away. We went and to try and see if we could call Delta and cancel the flight, because they had refused our result. So so the director was like, what do they want? So I went back to the counter and I asked them, what do you want written on that paper? Because you are saying it's fraudulent, or it's whatever you are saying, then how should it be written? So they were like, it needs to have, I don't know what they say, that RT, whatever, PCR. But then, the result before that paper was written PCR negative. And that's all that is needed. When that's all that is needed. Even when you go for a lab test, even the ones that we receive, even the ones that I have received myself individually, even at work, it's just written negative PCR. So so the director now, the director for that lab, the big boss. So she couldn't believe it. She was like, really, they're saying that that paper is not authentic. So so I told them this is how they want it. They are saying that it should not, because it had started with influenza, and then the PCR, and then no, the influenza, and then the upper respiratory infection, and then the PCR. So it was in a line. But then I think they just wanted to see a PCR. I don't know what they wanted, but I think that's what they wanted. So so the director was like, because they were done in our lab, then we can try and see if you can change the way they want, but it is not according to their policy. And then they were supposed to send it to the email so that we could take it to them. But I was asking myself, if we were sent for that document from the lab, like direct from the lab, and they had refused it, how are we going to take another document to them and they say that and they agree? Like I was just doubting. That when your sixth sense is telling you that even if you take another document there, they will say that it is fraudulent. So I kept talking with this lab lady. She was really patient and very nice. And even it was after hours because it was already 5 something. Hmm? So she told me, actually, the director is gonna come to the airport so that she can figure out what's going on, because she cannot believe that they are saying that that paper is fraudulent. So we waited. And by the time we were waiting, it went up to 6, because we were supposed to wait for her for 10 minutes. So up to 6 o'clock, you're supposed to board the plane. Like, you cannot board the plane if it's like 30 minutes late. You have to be like there before 30 minutes. So we just sat there, and then my husband was like, let me just call Delta and cancel the flight, because it is what it is. They wouldn't take that result. And they were just like, the way you see people, like, they're really gossiping about you. They're standing in a group, they're talking, and then they're looking at, they're giving you glances. Even to an extent that where I went to sit with my husband, waiting for the lab lady to show up, a security person came from behind, and he came all the way through another back door, and he came to where I was. He was like, did you, what did he ask me? He asked me, did you need anything? I was like, no, I'm just waiting for a lab result. But I could tell that there was some kind of communication that was going on in that airport, because we were just sitting there waiting. So it's like they were kind of like wondering. Have you ever felt like you are under scrutiny? So I was wondering, if I had a different skin color, would they have been like that? Maybe they would have treated me better. So I waited. So fortunately, the lab lady came. That director came. So when she came in, like, I could see like the change of attitude, like a complete turnaround, 100% change of attitude. Hmm? So that guy, that guy, that whatever for Delta, so the lab lady was like, I need to know what's going on with this, because this is what we sent for the lab, and this is what we have been sending since COVID. We have never changed this paper, and we have done so many, and people have even traveled to Kenya, and it has never had a problem. What is wrong with this one? Now that guy was like, if that was my employee, I would fire him immediately. Do you know what he said? He said, no, I don't know. I was like, really? I didn't even talk, but in my mind, I was like, really? He doesn't know, and he works here, and he's the one who has rejected this paper in the first place. He has said that it's fraudulent and it is wrong, and he doesn't know. So that director was like, I need to talk to your supervisor. And then that guy was like, then you have to call Delta. And then that supervisor, like, I could tell, because the way we had asked about the supervisor, and that guy was so ignorant and so bad. Oh my God. I just said, I was just talking on the phone. I was like, these people are just horrible, because they were just bad. Because even if you have something bad, there's a way of telling someone this document is not authentic. Period. That's it. So so that director was very insistent. She was like, I need to talk to your supervisor, or if I cannot get to your supervisor, then I will bring myself here by myself tomorrow, because I really need to know what is wrong with this document. So and then she stood there and she looked at him, and that's when that's when she asked for the number for there for that ICT whatever. So she asked, what's the number for here, because if there's a number for here then I can call. So that's when that guy gave her the number. And then when she gave her the number, she talked to that supervisor or whatever. When she talked to him, and then they talked, I don't know what they talked about. And then she was like, what do you want written on the paper, because I cannot change it. This is whatever. This is a medical document. You can, and I understand where she's coming from, because I work in healthcare. You cannot alter a document. How can you alter a document? It's a lab result. It says it's negative. And I was like, those people, they don't even work in healthcare. How are they able to interpret labs? Because if you work in healthcare, you can say that this one is wrong because of 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't even have a reason. So so after they talked, she went in her computer, and then she just, I think she just added just an R, something like an R or whatever. She didn't even change that paper so much, because she cannot. It's a medical document. And the funny thing is that when she printed it off, because she had to, no, when she sent it to me in the email, I remember asking her, because it just the numbers, there was a place that one number or went, it wasn't in a straight line, it just went down. And I asked her, I do think that they are going to agree to that, because that number, like the serial number, it went to a different line. So she was like, let's see what they will do. So do you know what the funny thing is, that when that director showed that guy the lab result, because when the director was like, I need to talk to the supervisor, he said, they have brought the lab people down here. That's what he said. I was like, what did he want? What did he want us to do? He's saying that he's thinking that our paper is fraudulent. So what else would we have done? That was the only thing that we would have done. Do you know that he did not? He said, as long as it's negative, that's enough. He didn't even look at that document. That is the saddest thing. That when we gave him our result, he gave it to all his friends. And when he was given by that director, he said, if it is negative, then that's fine. That's what he said. So I was like, if the paper that we had given him was fraudulent, why did he want to look at this one and verify? You know what I mean? Or was it because we are black people, and we gave him that result, and he thought that we maybe it was fraudulent? And this is another person of a different skin color, and she even gave that lady, she was, like she was very respectful and very nice. She even had her badge and everything, and I could see like the change of everything. So I just felt like I would talk about this, because it really like made me so sad. Like, you walk into a place, you expect, and it doesn't matter my skin color. I am an American citizen, and even my own self, I know that things have happened and people are not trustworthy. But myself, the profession that I work in, I cannot go with a fraudulent document, because that would risk I would risk losing my license. You see what I mean? And I cannot go telling everybody that I am an ass or whatever. No, I cannot do that. But I believe that I still deserve that chance of someone. If then you do not agree with my document, when the real one is brought by another one, then look at it and verify. Just the way you verified. Because he didn't verify, he didn't do anything. He was like, as if it's negative, then it's fine. And he checked him in. I remember he was checking him in like less than, he was almost late for the plane. And then I was like, what if it was a white person who had gone in without document? Would he or she have been treated that way? Like, really? Is that, like, yes, you are an American, but you still feel like you haven't reached there? Because some people will look at you and frown at you. Some people will look at you and still feel like you do not belong. Because yesterday I felt like I do not belong. Believe me, I did. I felt like I did not belong. If there was another airport that I could not go, that I could go to, I would never go back to ICT. I would never even fly Delta. I don't think I will fly Delta. I will not. Because why would I go and fly Delta if if their people, they are that rude? Because if my document, they did not agree with it, and that's my problem. They did not agree with my document. But when the director came in and gave me another document, that guy did not even look at it. He was like, if it's negative, it's fine. I was like, oh, I didn't want to extend the story from there because it was late and my husband had to leave. But even up to today, I am like, why did I get such treatment? Did I get such treatment because of my skin color? Did I get such treatment because of something else? Because he would have checked and he would have been like, oh yeah, this one, this is what we want. He didn't. That was it. And the story was over. So it's a sad experience. And I felt like I would talk about it because I really felt bad yesterday. I was like, do I even belong? Do I even belong? And you see, it's a line of people, like even like what like really was like making me like so sad is like they stood in a group. That guy, another two girls, they just stood in a group and they were just you can tell when people are talking about you. And after that group, the two girls went behind. Then the security officer is coming to ask me what I'm doing in the airport. I'm like, really? Really? But then it's all right. But I just felt like I would talk about this. I don't know who's gonna watch this video or whatever, but I felt like I want to take it out from my heart because it really, really made me so sad that at this century we still look at people and frown at them. Hmm? We still look at people and treat them, especially when you have an accent. Because even if you come and live here in the US, if you were born in Africa, you will never talk like them. You will always, even our fellow Black Americans, you will never be able to talk about them. And the saddest thing, and for me, I am like, if everybody is following a certain procedure, even me, I have to follow that procedure. I am not, I do not look for any favors or anything, but I still feel like that guy did us wrong. Because the first document that we gave him, he gave it to all his colleagues to verify, but the second one that was given by the director from the lab, he didn't even look at it. Oh no, he was like, if it's negative, it's fine. I was like, really? And we have spent here more than 2.5 hours waiting because they are saying that our document is fraudulent. But anyway, so I felt like I would talk about it because maybe for me, if something happens to me, I'll just talk about it. Because maybe someone else out there might experience the same. But it's so sad, guys. It is just sad. And I felt like it was sad. It was a sad day for me. But anyway, it's what it is. But I just hope that people would start seeing other people like they're humans. Yeah, if you think that my paper is wrong, if another person comes and brings another one, verify it, give it to the same colleagues that you are giving it to, look if it's true. Before, I wasn't minding if because we were going to cancel that plane, that flight. I didn't mind even if we canceled the flight because he had to verify with his friends, just like he had verified it before. But he didn't. He was like, oh, if it's negative, it's okay. I was like, oh, okay. That's how it goes. So it's just it's called venting. I'm venting. So I just felt like I would vent because if I don't vent, it's gonna stay in my heart and it's gonna just bother me. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's not one of my best. It's not one of my best videos, but I felt like I would do it so that at least that thing just gets out of me. And for anybody who is coming here, just so you know that you can get such reception. Not everybody is bad, but there's some those people who will just treat you like trash. He will just treat you like you are a nobody. But it doesn't matter because me, I do not lose hope. I still move on. I put it behind me and I move on. But that's why I came here to talk about it, because I felt like I was not treated right. I was not treated right, but I still see the positivity of it, because the lab people helped us. Even that director had to leave her home to come and help us and verify that our documents were right. So at the end of the day, we did not have any shame in our eyes. We were able to accomplish, and he was able to get on the plane and go to his destination. So thank you for watching my videos. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in another video. Thank you, and God bless you.